What's good, guys? Welcome to the midweek review here. And of course, I'm being joined with Leo. What's good, Leo? How you been?
I've been suffering.
Been suffering? Been better?
I got sick. I got sick again, but I'm showing up here for y'all. And
Hey,
so yeah,
appreciate that, Leo.
we're making it through the halfway point of this week, going
Yeah.
into Thursday's trading.
We're going to Thursday trading, and we obviously did pretty well on our weekly outlook. A majority of our targets have already been hit. So midweek review, we're gonna update maybe some next targets or maybe give you guys some insight on what we see for now. An update on the Discord. It will probably be released at the end of this week. Leo and I are still working on it, trying to make sure everything's running well for you guys. It's going to be completely free. Maybe it'll get into like some paid group later on, but as of right now, it's completely free for you guys. We want you guys to enjoy it. Ask us questions. We know we can talk to you guys, help you guys out. But let's get started on dollar index. So on the dollar index on the daily, right? Most of the targets been hit. We talked about how this high here, they took it out, trading up into this volume balance. Didn't really respect that at all. Traded higher, trading into this inefficiency, filled it in. And as of right now, still buy side is up here. However, I think this is an area where they could start setting price lower. If they do want to do that, we can start seeing EUGU start pushing higher. But as of right now, let's just wait and see. We did see them take out this high here, trade up into this inefficiency and trade it into this premium level. So let's wait and give it some time, and we'll go deeper into the 1 hour to break it down a little bit more. So this was the buy side liquidity that we were talking about. I was saying how Dixie was chilling at the consequent encroachment of this wick here. And I was looking saying, hey, it's really, really high probability that I could run this high here, trading up into this volume balance and maybe perform a total soup. And obviously, turtle soup did not happen, but it did give a quick retracement lower for more for basically our stop run, and then running higher again, pushing higher and higher, and then finally starting to break down lower. As of right now, dollar index, like I said, it could potentially going higher, but as of right now, I'm looking for maybe some sort of retracement lower. If they break through this in volume balance, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of came back up into it, use this as resistance in this air quote, support or resistance, use this as resistance for it to then push lower, come lower, maybe target this volume imbalance here or break this big liquidity void here. But as of right now, uh, still very uncertain about Dixie, right? Dixie is at a level of premium, but it's trading back down into a level of discount. So we kind of want to wait and see on what they want to do from this area. I would say maybe take the rest of the week off. Like I said, target's already been hit for me personally. So I'm not pushing, I don't want to push too hard on anything on any of the markets. But let's move on from the dollar index, unless you have anything you want to add to this, Leo.
Yeah, we do have unemployment claims tomorrow at 8:30. So you guys have to watch out for how prices trading in these PDRAs that Alan just mentioned earlier. If they're violating it, then we might have to see how price trades there. And if it violates too much, we could have to switch our targets, in my opinion. But for now, we're still sticking with what we have on the chart and looking for at what the unemployment claims news brings us for tomorrow.
Yes, great addition. Unemployment claims is very, very important. Just in case you guys don't know what that is, that's probably going to be injection of volatility or injection of liquidity into the marketplace, where it's very dangerous for you to hold a trade. So if you guys are wanting to trade, I would recommend to either trade, you know, before that, and then probably close your trade an hour before unemployment claims. And then if you want to trade after, maybe trade about an hour and a half, 2 hours after it. But as of right now, just avoid it. The week is already nearing an end, and we're still just getting into January. No need to push too hard. But let's move on from the dollar index to EU. EU again. The other night I was talking about how EU was above this low here, while Dixie was already at the constant encroachment of this wick, and Dix and EU had a manipulation higher for the Judas, sank lower aggressively. I was able to catch that trade very, very nicely, trading into this constant encroachment. That's where I closed my trade, right? Expecting a maybe potentially a turtle soup. We can run higher, trading back into this inefficiency here. But it continued taking it lower, which was really, really good, which was fine. I didn't really want to push too hard on this again. Once I saw price come lower, I knew that this low here was probably in jeopardy, which it takes it out within the next hour or so. So after that happens, I was like, okay, most of the source liquidity has been taken out. I want to see what they want to do now. You can see it's very choppy here. And I know some people are like, oh, you can trade this, but it's very choppy. So I don't, in my opinion, I'm like, I'd rather just wait for something better, something better to trade. And as you can see, it's not really moving too much. So even if you were trying to hold trades here, it's very, very hard to catch nice runs. And if it did, it gives you a little bit of run, but it takes it back. So it's a very choppy market during this time, and I don't recommend a lot of people trading this. So as of right now for EU, sell-side liquidity has been taken out. I'm looking to see if it can kind of get back up into this inefficiency here that I highlighted off the daily time frame. And if price can try to get back up into maybe a constant encroachment at that level, that would be my next potential target, or even the buy side from what is this, Tuesday? Yeah, from Tuesday. So if it does get there, this would be the next target here for buy side. If it does want to come back lower, it could run these lows out here. I see a potentially equal lows down here that it could come down into and take this out. And if they do come down, take this out, I want to see what they react down to these three down candles here. If they do use these three down candles as a bullish order block, then we can see more bullish prices. But it's also a scenario. That's not what is going to happen. It might happen, but as of right now, I don't want you guys to take that word too much weight. Right. So let's move on from EU. We have GU here. And like I said, GU similar, ran aggressively lower. And when I was giving out the analysis, I was like, oh, I can see GU run lower and won't even touch the consequent encroachment of this wick. But I was definitely wrong here. Price came lower very aggressively. And then as soon as it came down to the consequent encroachment of this wick, it retraced very aggressively, running out buy side, right? Short-term buy stops, running them out, and then continue sending a lower, trapping the buyers down here, getting them out of the market, and then finally taking out this sell side. Big, massive expansion higher here, retracement down here, and then we saw more bullish prices here. As of right now, there is buy side liquidity resting on GU above here. I just don't know if they want to get to this as of right now, or they can save it for later this week or even next week, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of just threw some more wicks down here, there's some more down candles down here, really trying to build more sentiment for buy side and then have a very nice bullish expansion week. Yeah, so if they do decide to come down here and trade aggressively, try to take out some quick stop runs here, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said already, if they just kind of had a nice bullish week, running out buy side, and buy side here, and then seeing what happens from then on. But as of right now, I see that taking a lot of sell side, and this big reaction I kind of like this big reaction here. It shows me that, hey, something definitely happened here, running out the lows here for sure, taking out buy side here. If they do come back up here, this is around the 50 of this range here, the equilibrium of this range here. So I'm still kind of like just wondering what they want to do from here. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if they came lower, take some more lows out, and then push price higher after doing that. That would be, in my opinion, ideal. But let's just wait and see for GU, right? Is there anything else you want to add for EU GU, Leo?
No, not at the moment. I think you've covered everything pretty in depth.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's move on from EUGU then. Crude oil, right?
Yes, onto crude oil. All right. So, as you guys can see, ever since our last video, we saw price wick down on this bullish candle wick down here into this area. I was looking at the uh, what is that? The close and open of these candles here as a point of interest for me to look at, building off the weekly time frame as the narrative here for the short term. This is the opening of the weekly bullish order block here. I did notice that there was a contract change ever since we made our last video, so there is a slight difference around like 8 to 10 cents here on the contract because we switched to March delivery. And so building off this weekly time frame and into the daily time frame here, we're still kind of sitting around the 71 area here, moving in that pretty sloppy. However, I do have, again, these buy side liquidity pools up here, these highs as a uh, end target for me. However, there's no guarantee that crude oil comes up there and takes it. I was really looking at sell side being taken here, which gives price permission to move up a fair amount on crude oil. So at the first line of defense, I guess, would be the consequent encroachment of this wick here. That's what I would really note out around 74. Would see price punch up there at least for me. And then moving into the end of the week and into high impact news, we'll see how we go. But it's not the largest chance that we target this buy side liquidity pools here because price is just so sloppy. I'm not seeing anything that would make it price expand with insane velocity on the upside yet. But I do see an accumulation here. So that's it for the daily time frame. This is the framework I've built off the weekly. Okay, moving into the hourly chart for crude oil. In our last video, I did notice that I did want to see the sell side liquidity pool here purged and into around the 70 level here. This is the body open of the candles on the daily chart here. And we did in fact see on Wednesday a price trade into this, taking out the sell side here, into this area, this order block here. We see that the bodies are respecting it, and we wick into it, which is fine. And then we see a price expansion higher, which is what I expected to see, and a target of this buy side liquidity pool here at around 73.50. I am looking for 74, these PD arrays here, 74.30 around to get hit by the end of the week, and an optimistic target of 75.25 for the end of this week's trading. And not too much on crude oil as it is in a higher time frame consolidation. As you guys can see, it's pretty choppy in here, and it can get a little tricky to read sometimes. So I like to take things step by step in situations like this. I don't want to forecast way too far ahead. So it's nice to see how price is moving around these PD arrays and trading, respecting them or disrespecting them. And it gives me kind of like this path to follow along into the end of the week. So this is what I have so far. I'll update you guys on the end of the week review on crude oil. Moving on to E-mini S&P. As you guys can see, there is buy side liquidity up here, not a target yet. And that we did take out the sell side liquidity, these two noted in our last video, as well as moving into this imbalance area here, noting at this breakaway gap here, order block, and a little gap here that was filled. I like how the bodies are respecting it, and then we wick into it into this gap's 25% range, almost touching that 25% range, and then rejecting and moving higher. So as for right now, I don't want to jump the gun and say that we're gonna see order flow up, but ultimately it's up to what unemployment has to offer for the dollar, and it will build a narrative off the dollar. However, this is a contender here, this high for overnight into Thursday. I suspect they'll use this as liquidity pool. For now, I believe I wouldn't be surprised if they took it down one more time though, because it seems to it doesn't seem like they tapped the liquidity enough. But for now, we'll see. I am expecting a turn soon into buy side liquidity though. So that's it for me on the S&P. Did you have anything to add, Alan?
No, not really on the S&P. I do support your like potential move lower for ES. I do can see that happening if it's running out some short-term lows, create a stop run, and then maybe push higher for buy side. But as of right now, let's just wait and see. Let's go into the Nasdaq. So for Nas, I did draw this out for you guys in the weekly outlook in the beginning of the week. Suspect resting here, bullish order block, right? And this is a mean threshold of that. And we saw price come here very aggressively, trading down into the mean threshold, responds really nicely, retracement. I was able to catch a very, very solid buy into this down candle here. and then price ran up higher as soon as it took its own high. I was able to liquidate my position, say, hey, this is enough for me. I'm gonna get out the trade. Very, very simple trade. I liked it. I didn't really want to hold for too much just in case that it did want to run again lower, which it could definitely do. So looking at NAS right now, I wouldn't be surprised if NAS kept coming up for buy side here. Depends on how they come towards the buy side. I wouldn't be surprised if they did send it one more time lower, trading down into these lows here, or maybe trading down into this down candle here and then seeing how it wants to move from there. But as of right now, most of my targets have been hit, like I've said already. So I will not gonna be pushing too hard for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, unemployment claims, like I said, or like Leo said already. So just be aware of that. If you guys already made money this week, I highly recommend you guys to just stop trading, call it a week, enjoy the rest of the week off. I'm gonna probably be doing that. I'm not gonna be doing it too many trading or too much trading while for Thursday, Friday. Gonna be preparing for next week and building a Discord for you guys. So as of right now, Nas buy side is what I'm looking for to end the week off. Maybe get up here, maybe just get this buy side here. That seems really, really likely. But as of right now, I think that should wrap up our midweek review. Want to make this quick for you guys. Is there anything else you want to add for them, Leo?
No, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to. I think we've been pretty in depth. So
Sounds good. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this midweek review and stay tuned for that new Discord that will be dropping. It should be hopefully crossing our fingers, be ready by the end of this week, and then we'll get that out to you guys. So make sure you guys come in here, stay tuned for the end of week review. We'll be going over a little bit of our trades and talking about how the week played out and what could be potentially happening for next week. But yeah, that should wrap our video. Make sure you guys be safe, take care, and we'll see you guys on our next video. Peace.
excited to see you guys.